are none, Your Honor.
Any written public comments?
We received no written comments.
I'm sorry?
We received no written
Okay.
comments.
At this time, we look at the public comments section. If anybody has anything you'd like to address us about that's not on the agenda, we would take those comments at this time. Sure, come on up.
Who gets this?
You can address them.
Just give us your name and address.
Gary Morgenroth, 14724 Springwood Drive, Baxter, Minnesota. And I've lived here now for 5 years. Came to my first city council meeting and listened to you guys dictate to the people that live to the northwest of me how you were going to take them over. Basically, that's what it was. Right here, I have the minutes from the last city council meeting. $1,694,563.66. You guys approved of taxpayer dollars. This was in the Baxter or Greater paper. Faced with the six-figure assessment, retired couple would be paying $31,000 a year for 12 years of projects extending city and water. Whoever this Joel Phillips is, I want to see the project go forward for sure. Council member Jeff Phillips says, recognizing $31,000 as a burden to the people. You're damn right it is. Mr. Darrell Olson, 4 years ago, I talked to you about you being the mayor in this city and protecting the businesses when COVID started. And you said you couldn't do anything unless Governor Walz told you what to do. Excuse me, you're the mayor, not Walz. Second thing, I talked to you and you mentioned to me that time 4 years ago, you didn't know anything about the League of Minnesota Cities. Right here, Mayor Olson noted that they've been receiving updates from the League of Minnesota Cities. The League of Minnesota Cities, by the way, is a strong arm of United Nations agendas. And it's a communist organization. How do I know that? I saw the convention in St. Paul, or in St. Cloud 6 years ago, and how they all acted. And you have represented the city right here that are part of this. You go to these meetings and you get all your directions from them knuckleheads to tell us and to take our money. I think the people that live in this city and vote for people like you guys vote because you were supposed to serve the people. Instead, what you've turned into is dictators telling them what you're going to do to them to drive them into the freaking poorhouse. I don't know where you guys are coming from anymore. I went through the same thing in St. Cloud, Wake Park, Sartell, and all the other cities, watching the city councils abuse the residents of their city. And that's just exactly what you're doing. One last comment. 1, 2, 3, 4 men. I'm assuming you all four have the balls to do the right thing, but you put a woman up to project the possibilities of a freaking dog walking park in the swamp. I hope she takes you guys by a leash and walks you in that park.
Okay,
Because you deserve it.
Take it easy, buddy.
Huh?
Take it easy.
No, I'm not taking it easy. This is exactly facts right here. And that place right over there, that paper right over there, puts it out and shows the public what you're doing. And the public that I talked to just today even, and I told them I was coming to city council, I said, Gary, let them have it. We're tired of this. We can't handle this. I said, why don't you show up? Well, we don't have time. We don't have, you know why? It's the same thing down there. They're afraid to come to city councils. They're afraid to confront knuckleheads like you. They're afraid to do it. Because you guys rule over everybody. You threaten them with fines. You threaten them with fees. You threaten them with assessments.
Okay, are you done, you think, or
Huh?
are you done?
No.
Gary,
I can go on. One more thing I want to say.
Why don't you and I take it
No,
out?
I want to say one more thing. There are people sitting
Sit
in
down
this
once
room
already.
that have lived off the free enterprise tax dollar all their lives, and some before they were even born. Period. Now, who do I give this to?
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's go.
Good evening. I'm Howie Bond, and I live on 4689 Joler Road. And first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for all the work you do. I really sincerely think that you've got the heart of the community in your heart, and you do what you think you should do to help this community, and it's a great community. I'm proud to live in it, and I know everything that you guys try to do is for the good of the community. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the residents of the community. Last time I was before you, it was when we were, there was a proposal to redo our road. And I've been following the minutes, and virtually every time there's a large group, it deals with the assessments to the road. And what I'd like to propose is something that I think would be good for the community, the residents. I think it would improve your jobs. And I think we can still do things in our city to improve our city. But I think it also has an effect that it makes the city more responsible in terms of deciding what projects you want to pursue and which ones we really can't. And as I followed the assessments, I tried to think of a number that was fair, that would be a maximum number per, what is it, EPU or whatever you have? What's it? Yeah, whatever it is, log, whatever. And I would like to propose for you to think about having a maximum of $10,000 assessment to the property owner per lot for improvement to the roads. And then anything above that the city does not cover, be put into the tax base to be spread out for the rest of the community to share. In other words, it would involve some increase to our taxes perhaps. But as I looked at it, it looked to me like most of the time, the amounts were at 8 to 10,000. So those people that would vote to have this happen couldn't come back and say, well, yeah, but we got to pay this, now all of a sudden you're going to give these people a break. And I don't think that figure would be that. But what it does for me as a community member, it allows me to know where I can start sticking money aside, how much. It gives me a definite figure. Whereas in our case, it was about 18,300 or 500 or something like that per unit, which would mean about 37,000, which I did not have anywhere close to in my savings. And it would put me into a position of either trying to buy a new home, but then as I thought about that, you know, the people that are going to buy my home have to know there's an assessment there, which makes it tougher there too. So since that time, and what you guys did is you postponed that, which we appreciate very much. But since that time, I lose sleep over that. Thinking about, you know, it's hard to find another home. I love my place. I love it. We couldn't afford it when we bought it, but we did because it's perfect for us. But like I said, I'm at a point now where I'm very fearful. And so I keep looking, should we sell it? Can we buy something that we still like? And so that's why I would like to propose that for you to think about. A maximum $10,000 per lot. Anything above that that the city does not cover, by whatever, how you do that, that amount we spread out to all of us. Because you know, if it's not my lot, it's somebody else's lot, and I buy it. Okay, so that's my thoughts.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anybody here with public comments?
Does that include the Clearwater project, or can you wait until?
That's on the agenda, right? Yeah, you can pull that when we get to it. Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. Following items are considered non-controversial by staff and are recommended to be read and passed in one motion. Any council person, staff, citizen, or meeting attendee can request one or more of the items be pulled, and that item will be pulled and addressed immediately after the passage of the consent agenda. Otherwise, the following items will be passed in one motion. Number one, approve the city council work session minutes from June 18th, 2024. Number two, approve the city council minutes from June 18th, 2024. Number three, approve the payment of bills and finance report. Number four, accept the 2026 Clearwater Road North Glendale Area Utility Roadway Improvements Project feasibility report and update the capital improvements plan. So that's one you want to pull, I'm assuming, okay. Number five, approve conditional hire of Goldie Peterson as patrol officer. Number six, accept the June 17th, 2024 Long Range Planning Commission meeting minutes. Number seven, approve a one-year extension to the cooperative agreement with
me, it's not quite there yet.
I hear you, I hear you.
I'm Robert Blymeyer. This is the first time here for me, meeting only fine people. And my wife and Sheena and I both live at 518 Clearwater Road in Baxter. We've been there a couple of years now. And one of the things we did before we bought our home was we called the city and we asked about city sewer and water. And we said, what are your plans? What do you think you might do? And the answer we got was, well, we don't plan on doing any kind of extension of city services in that section of Clearwater Road until the lots are developed, or somebody calls for the lots to be developed that are empty all along that road, at least around our home. And now what we learned through the paper is that there actually will be a project in 2026 to extend those services, water and sewer, all the way along that street, which I can see why you'd want to do it. But the numbers I'm looking at are, for us, roughly about $20,000, which is the assessment fee. And then there's another $10,000 to $15,000 for connection. So I would like to ask a couple of things. One is, have you considered being a little more flexible on your connection mandates for how long you have to connect on? Because obviously you can spread that assessment fee over 15 years according to your project documents. And that's, for us at least, it's doable. But that connection cost is going to be very high. It's going to be due right away. So it would be good if you could be a little more flexible than just 5 years, period. If people have functional wells and functional septic systems that are tested good, that are working fine, that aren't a threat to the environment here in Baxter. And I would ask you to consider that seriously, because we're in a position to finance that, but a lot of our neighbors, like us, are retired, and they don't have the wherewithal to quickly come up with the kind of money you're talking about here. And I think that it would be good to have some way, finally, for you to communicate to the community, what are your plans over the next 5, 6, 8 years for improvements to the city's infrastructure? What will be coming so people can plan, like the gentleman before me was just articulating really well. It would be good to know, because 2026 isn't that far away. It's only a couple of years. It's really hard to rejigger your investment portfolio or borrow money or do anything else in that period of time that's meaningful at that level. So, if you have any questions for me, I'd happy to answer, but that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I appreciate your comments. Pat, we've got that on a future agenda, don't we? Extending the 5 years or?
Well, we have conversations regarding the whole gamut of assessments, the connection and everything else that we're working on in that context, because as council is aware, we've had conversation and continue to have conversation about our pavement management program, the life expectancy, discussion of the areas that where sewer and water doesn't exist, the economic feasibility of it, as well as then the connection of it. Those 3 or 4 items are on future work sessions as we work through it to try and come up with the gentleman who was here earlier kind of hit it on the head exactly what we're dealing with as it relates to we're wrestling with that as a group, as a staff and council, as to the assessment part of things. What's on the agenda tonight is just acceptance of a feasibility report in the context to give us an idea of what those numbers would be. There's no decision on moving forward with the project or not is happening tonight. That would be through a public process that we would have to initiate. We're looking in 25, Trevor?
Summer of 2025.
To do that, but the conversation is going on in that context. As we have conversations, is it Lyman?
Blymeyer.
Blymeyer? Be more than happy. I've written down your information and I'll make sure that you're notified of the
Oh, that'd be
conversation.
wonderful if you do that. It's really a fair bit of work to keep track of, me individually, when things are gonna come up for discussion and matter to us. I can do it, but it'd be nice if you let us know. have to say is that we came from Rochester, many years in Rochester, and one of the things I watched them do over time is they got a lot of feedback about assessments also. For them, it was curb and gutter and sidewalk costs, because they would go around and work the sidewalk system, need to be repaired, and they would lay that full cost on the homeowner in front of their house. And finally, what they decided to do is just raise the taxes slightly and then put that money into a fund and then use it for infrastructure improvement and maintenance, or at least for curb and gutter and sidewalk. That way they just erased all of the controversy about sidewalks in front of people's houses because the city is paying for it as they saw fit. And I think that's an idea worth pursuing for you guys to think about. It is more complicated. And it does give you a reputation of being more tax heavy than you already are. But again, I think it might be more fair to the residents of the city. It's something to consider.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time and coming with your comments. I just hope people realize that we're not tone deaf to this whole thing. We have two people sitting right here that are in the middle of a project right now. So we're not we're not immune to it either. And he and I are probably next. And so we're totally aware of it. And the fellow who just talked, we've discussed what he said by the hour, and we're not done discussing it and trying to figure out how we can do it. The pie is the pie. So if you cut a piece here, it has to be added back someplace else. And so to be fair and equitable, it takes time to think that through, and we're in the process of doing those things. So, but I appreciate you coming tonight and sharing that. Thank you very much.
I'm Gina Blymire. I live at the same address. I look down the street at young families that are barely making it. I don't know how they're going to afford this, and I can't help but wonder if you were doing this purposely to get them to move or to go to other housing or be homeless. I don't feel that it's fair that it's placed on the backs of people on Clearwater just because Glendale has septic tanks that are a problem. I worry about my 80-some-year-old next door neighbor, and I don't think it's fair. He's been a resident. You probably recognize the name Lloyd. They've been here for over 70 years. And are you going to force this man out of his home because he can't afford it? He's looking at possibly living 5 more years. And then what happens to it? Let Glendale take care of themselves. Don't rope us into it. Let it go to a referendum.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thanks again for your comments and for sharing and taking the time to be here. And we understand what you're saying. So now to council comments, I guess, Connie.
I think we still,
So to vote on for.
What happened?
we still need to make a motion to accept the
Accessibility report.
Okay, I will make a motion to accept the report.
Motion by Cross,
Second.
second by Tabbitt, all in favor?
Aye.
All same sign, motion carries. Thanks for the catch. Now we can move on. Council comments.
Just wishing everybody a safe and happy 4th and welcome to the area. This is what summer is about.
Zach?
No comment tonight.
Joe?
Just real quick, well, I want to second your thanks to coming in and providing your comments about some of the ways that you've hit on some things we've already talked about, and we're going to keep talking about the right way to do it, not just to do it. So thanks.
Mark?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say some of us went to Rochester last week and participated in the League of Minnesota Cities Conference. Didn't see anything communist about it. But it was interesting because they, a lot of informational seminars to tell us what's going on and what the legislature is doing, and then what the legislature failed to do this last year. like bonding bill. And, it brought home some interesting ideas. You know, we get a chance to talk to other council members and mayors from other cities, and the little round tables we've had there were insightful. Because I happened to be at a table full of even smaller cities and listening to some of the problems they were having, and one city put the entire 26 miles of water and sewer in at one time. And I looked at that and go, wow. We should have done that, but we should have done that 35 years ago, unfortunately. But it was a good opportunity for us to get some extra information. So gives us something to think about. Appreciate being able to go to that.
Yeah, it was great. There's some things I'd like to say about that first individual, but I think I'm just gonna let it go. People are entitled to their own opinions, but they're not necessarily entitled to their own facts. And there's some quotes here. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Those conversations go back 5-6 years, and not all accurate. I've been screamed at and called all kinds of things on the phone. And again, I can take that, but all I ask is that be reasonable and be factual, and everything will be great. Okay, we'll move on to the city administrator's report.
Only thing is a reminder that offices are closed on Thursday for observance of 4th of July.
And we move to the city attorney, yes.
We'll be going into closed session pursuant to Minnesota Statute 13D05, subdivision 3B for 3 items. Ongoing litigation with Crow Wing County parcel, or a parcel of Crow Wing County that's outlined there. Discuss potential litigation pertaining to Minnesota Statute 103E, and to discuss potential litigation